Boom, 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 boom. Da, 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 da. Boom, 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 boom. Do 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 do. All right, good. Good, good. I always like to check before I start doing it, just in case. Blank part. Where? Above me? It shouldn't. I don't have them on there. I just have the chat on there now. Hang on, let me have a look at the preview. No, it looks fine. You didn't have any notifications? Not even. It didn't even say half an hour until I come on, or because I think it does that. It says 30 minutes until he goes live, or did it say when it actually gone live? Did anything come up when I actually went live? That's okay. I wondered what you're on about. I thought I can see the chat there, but there's not going to be anything else there. I just realised I haven't put out a Facebook thing yet. Hang on. Yeah, no, I have to. I have two different layouts, luckily, so I can just switch between them, so I don't have to like move stuff around and delete it or anything like that. So that's pretty cool. Just have to put this post on Facebook. just in case there's some people there who might want to come and watch or chat or whatever. There we go. Yeah, it's always slow. How many, usually it might be like 30 seconds. Is that how long it takes, do you think? You want to see how long it takes from when you type in to when it appears on my, you know, when it appears in the live thing. Sometimes it's about 30 seconds. I can't do much about that, unfortunately. I don't think anyway. I might have to check some settings, but I'll have to look it up online maybe. Okay. So just type something and then see how long it takes to come up in the on the thing, on the you know, on the picture. Take a couple more photos. Hey Nige. Okay, that's good. Oh, 32 seconds it took for the chat, okay. Yeah, that's what it normally does. It does gives you a notification half an hour before it happens, then it gives you a notification when they start streaming. So it worked for you, Nige. I think Zeusy, I think you might, because your notifications don't seem to work, I think you must have gone to your YouTube settings and turned them off or something. Because it's weird for them to not work like that at all, so I think you must have gone to your settings and turned them off somehow. Just going to do an Instagram post and then I'll get started. Because I just want to make sure people know that it's happening, just in case. I might be a bit confusing maybe, because I know last weekend I did it at 5 o'clock, didn't I think? So it's different by 2 hours, so maybe people who were available last time might not be available this time. Hey Yogi, how you guys doing? Just doing an Instagram post, then I'll get started with the metal detector on the wood just to make sure there's no nails in there. Or screws. I know there's screws on one of them because I've fixed a hinge to it before, so for something. What was that for? Some kind of machine or something I made, probably. Maybe it's for the table. No, oh, it might be for my lathe. It might be for the pedal on my lathe. Can't remember. all good? Good. It's really nice here today. It's like a spring day, fortunately. I could probably have the door open, but I think I'll leave it for the moment just in case. Plus then we get all the car noises, so might be a bad idea. Right. Okay. So I'm going to start this metal detector. Just move these out of the way for a second. Let's just test it first. I apologise if this is loud. Okay, so you can see it works on the planes. So, just got to check this pallet wood. Make sure there's nothing in it. Now it says it scans from a range of 10 to 20 centimetres or something, but I don't believe it, so I'm going to test all sides of the wood. I tried it on some other bits of wood that I know did have nails in, and it sort of I had to try quite hard to find a nail, so I'm going to make sure I go around all the edges here. Of course this isn't the best wood ever, so it's going to it's not going to be very nice to plane down with all these knots and stuff, but it is what it is. It's pallet wood, so that's the whole point of this, to try and do something with Perseus. There's a couple of screws there, but I know that there's a hinge, previous hinge that was fixed on there, so okay. So it says there's nothing in any of them, hopefully. Right, so let's pack this away. I'll just get that hinge off this one. Hey Jim, how you doing? That sounds good, Yogi. That sounds pretty good. Do you live out in the countryside, Yogi, or? I sort of get the impression that you might do. Hey Rob, how you doing? Oh dear, these are really in there. This one's really worn out. I might get a different screwdriver. Got this really, I don't know if you guys have seen this before in my videos or not, but really cool screwdriver with like a socket end and this little flick out thing that has all the bits in it. So you got like a ton of different bits in there. Just sort of perfect for finding the right one. Yeah, that's going to be difficult because that screws are really worn out. And this one's got some kind of glue in it or something. Maybe a smaller bit than that. That's too small. Alright, let's try this bit. If that doesn't work, just have to cut the end off. Because I'm not going to need this whole length anyway, so. It's completely worn out. Okay. Yeah, it's really good. I think it was quite, you know, it's more than a normal screwdriver. I think it's about £25 or something. So, but I've had it for ages, so you know, it's lasted quite a while. Just going to cut the end off this bit of wood and then I'll start planing it down. Just to get rid of this hinge. It is, hang on, it's WIHA. Whoops, just dropped a bit. It's good, isn't it? Find it in a minute. Yeah, WIHA, I think. Looks like. Made in Germany, it says. Yeah, WIHA. So close. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have many expensive tools, but that's one of them. I'm not really sure, Rob. I was going to have drawers on the bottom section, and then a kind of opening up chest on the top, so maybe the top sort of 15-20 centimeters will be like a chest with an opening lid at the top, and underneath there'll be drawers. I don't know if there's a name for that style or not, but or if it is any particular style. I lost my small bench dog the other day, so I'm just gonna put a screw in this end. Let's have a look. I think we're the right way up. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, machinist style with the drawers, the slim drawers that come out. That's a good idea, Yogo. I had not thought of that. I haven't taken a photo of it. My sketch pad is elsewhere. So, but I'll do that next time. That's a good idea. I could have it in one of the top corners or something like that. I don't think I took a photo of it. Hang on. Just a quick check. I took a photo of a sketch I did before I did that sketch. So I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but and try on here, see what it's like. Okay, so a bit like that, but there may be more drawers in the bottom. I'm not sure yet, because I'm not sure if 2 levels is enough, so I might do more than that. It's just going to take this cheap old plane. I'm going to check there's no twist in it first. Well, I could probably figure that out afterwards, but I haven't got winding sticks, so I should probably make some. So I use the flat edges of the planes instead to figure out if there's any wind or not. And there's a lot, there's loads. There's a ridiculous amount up here, or down there, one of the two. Yeah, okay, so I think I'll work on the wind a bit first. So do some diagonal passes and try and get the wind out of there if we can. Oh, did you, Rob? Is it on your channel? I don't think I've seen that one. I'm getting deflected here by something. Move up here. Better view. Okay, it's better. There's still some more to do. I'll take some off this top end. Oh, in your pre-YouTube time, okay. Or pictures of it on your Instagram, maybe? Okay, there we go. Right. Now let's try and get some wood off here. I'm getting a lot of tear out, so I'll try and spin it the other way. Yeah, I watched that, Jim, after you told me last time. It's good. Got so many drawers in there. Must have half your tools in there, I bet. Oh, on your website. Okay, cool. Hey, Steve. It's all right. It's all right. You don't have to, come whenever you want. It's no big deal. Thanks for coming. I think I'm getting more tear out this way. Just take the blade in a bit. because there's knots everywhere, I think. Both, but I should probably, that's a good idea, I should probably turn the heater off. That's the thing, I have it on, like sometimes I'm doing like a slightly high on the back corner. Yeah, sometimes I'm doing little simple things which I want the heater on, and then other times I'll be doing this and forget I've got the heater on, and then it'll be too hot. But there we go. It's quite bitter, yeah. Don't you have a heater in yours then, Steve? What do you have? Oh, yeah. Use this little square. Is it, Rob? Oh. Don't think I could. Well, I mean, you know, it's not very nice, is it? But I just try and keep it sort of about, I don't know, whoops, about 5 degrees or more probably, if I can. Just because, you know, don't want the tools to get any rust on them, or the wood I've got stored in here to start changing shape or anything, you know. So, okay, so it's almost square, but it's got this sort of really horrible ridge thing there from when it was just roughly sawn by some big sawmill, I suppose, and then chucked into a pallet. So got to take that off, but it's pretty close. So not that far off really. I don't know if I've got the right way here. Should probably be this way around, I think. So Just getting those saw marks off. And it's a little bit high up here, so just mark that down there. Let's do this. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get many good ones because it's all pallet wood, so but that's kind of the challenge, so we'll just see how it goes. If I can find a better one, then I'll use that instead. Are you getting the wood from somewhere else on your land, Jim? Okay, so it's just a bit high at the end there. Square there, so just a bit off the end. And we can just do another pass. Yep. Just it's not really taking much. There we go. Alright. Now we'll use the marking gauge. Oh, sorry, Jim. I said, are you getting the wood for the rest of for the base from your land? Because I know you've got quite a lot of trees and stuff around, I noticed. Using the Wood Yogi marking gauge. So, just to make sure these are square, so I don't really need to worry about it at this point, I guess, because it's probably still going to reshape them a little bit, but this at least show me how much material I've got. Looks like it's pretty good already, but we'll see. Right. Okay. That's alright, Andy. Don't worry about it. Damp for the top, but the base has to be dry. Why is that? So the top can shrink and grab around the legs or something? Not these ones, Rob. These are going to be the 4 legs. These ones I've got here. And then I've got some other stuff here. Like this. Which I might be resawing into 2 parts where I can. So splitting this in half and then using it for the carcass, so sort of the drawer surrounds and the framework and all that kind of stuff. I know it's not, well, it's far from the perfect wood, isn't it? Let's face it, but it's mostly just partly a test to see how well it holds up, and also a practice so that I can make a more, you know, decent one in the future with some better woods when I actually have some better wood. So I found that practicing things on pallet wood often makes you don't know, it makes it harder, so I think it might, you know, help in the future. It might not be as hard when you get a nicer wood, or I mean, it shouldn't be. So, but obviously the pressure is higher then because you're worried that you're going to damage some nice wood. So, French oak river is older when they cut the slabs off. 60% moisture. That's practically left in a bathtub, isn't it? Oh, I quite like Spurs as well, Andy, so who have they got today? I say I quite like Spurs and I ask who they're actually playing. Yeah. Right, so where are we? Let's put a pencil line in this just so I can see the line. Because doesn't really help because it's a really deep line, so we've got all kinds of knots and stuff on here, so that's obviously not going to help. Might be getting the chisel out. Yeah, that's right, Rob, yeah. Need plenty of practice. Alright. But they must have just been left outside or something. The slabs. Or something. But even outside it would still struggle to be at 60%, wouldn't it? I thought it would still be less than that. It depends where it is, I guess. Oh, FA Cup, oh, okay. Yeah, you might be right, Jim. I'm really not sure. I do have a moisture meter, but all I do is just check for when it's below sort of, or just, you know, dry it until it's below like 12% or something, and then I start doing stuff with it. Actually, I haven't checked this stuff actually, but I probably should. I don't think these big bits are going to warp as badly as a thin bit. And then might be at final thickness today, so just want to get rid of these saw marks first. I have got a line here, so just taking big chunks out of here where the knots are, but you know, it's not going to be perfect. How many of you lot are going to the make it central. I think you're going Rob, aren't you? I think. Whoops. These knots. Okay, so there's more to come off this end. Come a bit loose. Yeah. What day are you going, Rob? Are you going both days? These knots are going to be terrible. We've got two little ones here, two large ones here, tiny ones there, and another sort of medium one there. So. I feel there's a bump there. It's the knot. Oh, both? Okay. Hi, Nico. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, Steve's at the NEC. Yeah, 5th and 6th of May. I think, like, I've been asking other people, and it kind of depends on who you want to see. If you're talking about the sort of YouTube superstars, because I think on the first day, Jimmy DeResta is going to be there. Peter Brown, I think, is there on both days. Don't know about Carl Jacobson. I think he might be doing a demo on the first day, Carl Jacobson, and then after that I'm not sure, but oh, hey Steve. Oh, that's a shame. I'm probably going to be up there on the Sunday myself, just because it's the only day I can make it. But should be good, hopefully. Right, I'll just mark all around it. We've got 45 minutes. Oh, cheers, Jim. Oh, okay, Rob. Are you going to stay in Birmingham then, Rob? I'm just trying to find my shallowest point so I can mark it. Oh, okay, cool. We find when you're planing edges, you end up off square. They're not holding the plane flat enough. Is this just practice? I like to tell you error, but sometimes I do that myself. No, but I found yeah. they say a lot of it is just having a feel for it, or if you're talking about when you're planing an edge like this, your plane is sort of tilted a bit. Is that what you mean? A lot of people will put their thumb on the top like this and then get their fingers on the side, or sort of under the, as long as you don't put your finger on the blade there, sort of under here somewhere, get your thumb and finger like that, and then kind of use the side of it, the sort of knuckles, to guide it along the side, and that should help you get, I'm not saying it's going to give you definitely a right angle, but it should help you get a right angle along there. And then of course just checking it a lot with a square. But yeah, I know what you mean. When I first started, definitely I was all over the place, so I would often find I'd do like 4 or 5 sweeps and then found out that I was holding the plane like this or like this. So I think, yeah, practice, but also just, you know, keep checking. You know, there's no problem with, if you keep checking, then at the start you're going to be doing it slowly, but then, you know, the more you check, and well, the more you check at the start, the less you'll have to check in the future, I suppose, because you'll get more used to it. So, but yeah, I'm not going to be doing this up yet, I'm going to be marking it. So yeah, I mean, I get problems with that as well, so at times, but it just comes down to practice and checking it, just making sure that it's, you can get a little bit higher than that. Close by the NEC, okay. Oh, was she Jim? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's the point error, yeah. In fact, I think, I mean, I'm not certain, but I think you can get a guide that goes on the, like a fence that can fit on the side of a plane. So you've got your plane there, and you'd have a kind of clip-on or screw-on fence here that would go here on the wood. So as long as your face edge is square and flat, then you should be able to go down it like that, because you've got like a fence here. I haven't got one, but I don't know if anyone else knows of such a thing or where you would get it. That might help to start off with, but if you want to, you know, get used to doing it by hand and just, you know, almost train yourself to do it, then probably best not to start with one, I guess. Yeah. That's true, Steve. Yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's one of the more difficult things, to be quite honest. Anything to do with making straight lines with hand tools, you know, is difficult. So when you first start, you know, sawing a straight line is quite difficult, but once again, it's just persistence and keep checking all the time to see how straight it is. And then when you get to using like a hand drill or something, that's very difficult to drill straight to start off with. I mean, I still have to make sure I'm checking it all the time when I'm doing it. You know, when using like an egg beater drill or a brace, or you just put a square next to it to make sure it's going straight down or something, but it's, yeah, it's hard to get used to, because your body will want to go sort of one way or the other, you know, and it's difficult. tear it now, I might have to twist it around. Yeah. That's these knots, they're just making the tear out happen any which way, but that's okay. We're not making fine furniture. Oh, that was a hell of a tear out there. Just spin it around again. Have to put a skew on it or something, see if that helps. Doesn't really help me get it flat though, but there you go. Yeah, I suppose you would call it a 6. Yeah, it is a number 6. Yeah, I just always know it as a jointer, but yeah, it says number 6 on there. But it's not the best. It's a Silverline. For anyone familiar with Silverline tools, you'll know that they're basically bargain basement. It's like one step up from finding a tool on the street somewhere. That's what Silverline tools are. But as with any cheap brands, I find you just have to sort of pick and choose until you get the right one, basically. Oh yeah, Shannon Rogers has tons, yeah. Yeah, he does lots of live stuff as well, actually. That's pretty good. He does lots of Q&A and stuff like that, which is always good. So this one's pretty much done, I think. Looks pretty good. I don't know how we're going to be able to see that or not, but hard to get the proper view of the camera. But so you'll see there's lots of bits of tear out caused by these knots and grains going absolutely everywhere. So we'll see. I've never heard of Phil though. I'll have to check him, Yogi. That's right, Steve. Yep. Unfortunately, I don't have the skill or the tools, so. Right, so I'm going to call that one done for the moment because, I mean, it's not going to be. That's not going to be its final thickness anyway, but it'll be something like that. So if you imagine this will be one of the legs. And another one there, like that. And then on the bottom I'm going to have like a little bit of part coming here. I might make it the same, so these are the same all the way around, so I might have the legs up here and then the same thickness going across here. And then up the top as well. And then I'll leave the top open and then make a lid for it. But yeah, these are going to be the legs. I'm not sure how tall. That's another thing I have to figure out. I don't know whether to check out some. I probably should check out measurements of other tool chests and stuff. I've got a tool chest here, an old one, but It's not really the same style, so I'm either going to gather all the tools together and figure out the size, or just yeah, cut down the biggest tree in the forest with a herring. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut it down a bit, Jim, but Rob. It's not going to be as high as this, I don't think. So, I'm thinking probably, if I get my measuring tape, I'll tell you roughly what I'm thinking of. Probably about yeah, 50 centimeters tall, maybe, and about, what's this, 45 deep, and then actually the other measurement depends on over here, because that's where I'm putting it. Yeah, about 60 wide, so centimeters I'm talking here, not inches. That would be enormous. Oh, okay, Yogi. The art of woodworking. Cool, I'll check it out. Fill low, fill low, fill low, fill low. Fill low. This one's actually a bit wet, so I'm not going to touch that one yet. I had these stored in my outside like lean-to that I've got. All my other wood that's half decent. Stuff that isn't pallet wood, basically, I have here in the shed. So I have mostly stored under my bench. So I've got the lathe there, and then behind it at the back there I've got loads of sapele from a carpenter who uses it for door frames and then throws it away. So yeah, Rob, yeah, I want to have a saw like thing on the other bit, on the other side of the lid, yeah. Because the toolbox I've got down there, the old one that I inherited, has the same thing, and it seems to work really well. So I think that's the best way to store them. And I mean, you might as well use the lid anyway, because you're going to have to open it up to access the tools. So you might as well use that space, and because it's flat, it just seems to make sense. So. Oh, I see, it's turned into Monty Python quote time, is it? Yeah, so I've got, this is the other tool chest I'm talking about, there. And then I've got the lathe there, and then, like I say, behind that I've got some sapele and some oak, that are just from a carpenter who works in a factory. And he uses sapele for the door frames, and oak for skirting board and stuff, and they have like a 6 foot length there, and they just throw it away. So I like to make sure that I'm there to get it, you know, because I think that's pretty awful, just throwing piles and piles of wood away. So let's try and get it where I can. Should really make some winding sticks. Yeah. Oh, did you, Rob? Oh, right. Is that on your videos? Or is that the same one we were talking about earlier? Yeah, look, I mean, just to give you an example, like this, look. So this piece of sapele and tons of bit just like it would, if I hadn't got them, would be in a landfill, in a dump, just rotting somewhere. So, which I think is pretty shameful, to be honest. Just chucking it away like that. When you consider how long it's taken the tree to grow, and just throwing it away just seems, yeah, pretty shameful. But that's the way it is, I guess. No, that's the simplest way, Jim. It's, might as well go for the simple stuff when you got to work with it, because, you know, sometimes with tool storage you just kind of want to get them up on the wall and forget about it. I'm purely doing this just to have a interesting project, kind of an experiment. You know, try and hone my joinery skills a bit and test out a few things that I've never tried before. So just trying to get this twist out of here at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty much so. Okay. I can show. Yeah, Jonathan, just it'll just be there. No plan on wheels or anything. So I'm not going for anything like innovative or anything in particular. Just basically using it as a test to try myself out and improve with a few skills, and you know, obviously you're going to make some mistakes, but you know, that's alright. So yeah, it's just using it as a test, and because I have a surplus of tools recently, because I inherited some from a cousin whose grandfather died. I've got like a surplus of tools, so I want to make somewhere to just keep them all where I can access them easily, because at the moment they're in a big tool chest, and if I want to access the stuff at the bottom, then I have to open it up and pull everything out, and it's just not, you know, my shed's so small it's just not feasible to just have to go in there all the time. I mean, you can see it's completely rammed with shelves there. I've got offcuts and stuff on the floor there. Just all kinds of stuff really, logs, and the bench, tools on the wall, which is pretty much full. Got the saw till there, the plane till, and then the clamps up there. The tool chest I'm talking about is there, which I can't have out in the open or anything, so it's really hard to get to. And I've got another tool, or not a tool chest, it's like an old metal luggage chest down there with loads of bits and bobs in it. So I just want to like sort everything out, because you know, if I'm going to start making more complex joinery, then I'm going to need more complex tools, and I need it to be more accessible as well. So oh, you made it pre-YouTube as well. Oh right, so it's in the background on some of your videos and stuff. Okay, cool. I'll probably just get this one square, and then we'll probably call it a day, because I feel like going on for too long is a bit, you know, it's a bit boring going on for too long, especially when I'm not doing any joinery or anything. So I think in the next stream I'll have the wood all planed down, and I might start resawing it in the next stream, or I might do that in the week maybe and have some stuff ready, but we'll see. Depends what else I'm up to. and get these saw marks off. Taking much of a cut, just go a bit deeper. Let's check again, see what we're doing. Okay, well. Okay. It's really rough at the moment, but I can do the last smoothing down when I've got them to the dimension I want with a smoothing plane and scraper. Hopefully get some of that awkward grain smoother than it is. Yeah, it looks organised, but there's lots of stuff like on the floor and the shelves are a mess and everything, so at the moment I can get to what I need, but like I say, when I start doing more complex joinery I'm going to need faster access to stuff, because when I'm in the middle of something I hate having to search for a tool or a piece of hardware, a screw or nail or something. I find it so irritating, so I need to get it sorted out. Yeah, I've got, I can show this on the, so on the laptop I've just got the laptop camera, so that's the one that's looking at me here. This one is one from Amazon. It's a Logitech C something, let me tell you, Logitech HD Pro Webcam C920. So that had good ratings on Amazon, and I searched for ages to find one, which I often do when I'm buying something, and yeah, that had good reviews, so I went with that. Then I'll get this again, hang on. And recently I got this USB microphone up there, which has this, it fits in this little thing here, and it has this cool little clip, so you can clip it onto stuff. So I've got it clipped onto my tool wall there. This is kind of up out of the way. Apart from that, there's not much else. It's just my laptop. It's quite a fast laptop, but I've had it a few years now. I have a Ethernet wire coming to my shed from the house because Wi-Fi, I just don't think, if you're going to do live stream, I think you just need to have a wire, because Wi-Fi sometimes just doesn't cut it. So, and Wi-Fi can dip and that all the time. A wire is a lot more reliable. So I have the Wi-Fi, the cable, the Ethernet cable coming straight from the modem, and I use OBS, which is Open Broadcast Software, which is free. But there's a few things to get used to, but you can find tons of tutorials on YouTube for how to use it. And if you are going to live stream and you don't know how to do it, Rob, just let me know and I'll help you out. Are you thinking about live streaming? Get rid of the saw marks first and I'll deal with the rest. Spin that around so it feels a bit rough. how long? Long. Must be about, oh, I don't know, 30 meters maybe? It's long. But I get the close to the top speed. I know the distance can affect the strength, but I get a speed of about well, our speed indoors wired is 70 megabits a second, and out here I get about 68. So I mean, it's far more than you need, and I think, well, I suppose the upload speed is what matters, and the upload speed is about 18 megabits a second, which is once again far more than what you need. So but obviously, you know, if you've got far more than what you need, then you're not going to have problems, or not as many problems. Yeah, you should do it, Rob. It's a lot of fun. I mean, so I was going to be doing this anyway, and doing it live just means it's, you know, you can talk to people and get some ideas or advice or whatever as you're doing it. And yes, it's quite fun. Good way to bring new people to the channel as well, you know. Okay, so underground, Steve. Well, half and half really. Got it running along another shed down the bottom of the garden and a greenhouse, and then after that greenhouse it dips down into the ground and goes underground inside like a, put it inside like a tube, and then as it comes to this shed it goes up the wall outside inside another tube, and then comes in through the wall about 3 feet up from the ground or something. So because I'm going really heavy on the live streaming, I had to do it. There's no other way. So I know when I did my first YouTube live stream, I relied on the Wi-Fi, and I was right next to the modem, so I didn't have any dips, or I didn't think I was going to have any dips in signal, but it was bad. So yeah, if you can get an Ethernet cable to the computer that you're using in your workshop or wherever, then do it, because it's really worth it. Just to take any doubts out of your mind as well, you know, because when you start the stream, unless someone tells you that it's working, you don't entirely know if it's working. So yeah, it's good laugh. And the reason I've gone so heavy on it is because I'm doing it on Twitch now as well, so I'm actually going to start doing it there 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday and Friday now, because I just reached the 50 followers on there, and that you need to be an affiliate on Twitch, so that's sort of the next stage. So I'm deciding to up it a little bit, doing it at 5 PM every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So which is interesting, because you get an entirely different crowd on there. So I mean, there are a lot of people from YouTube on there, a lot of viewers from YouTube on there, but you also get lots of other people who, you know, really enjoy the live stuff, because that is what Twitch is. It is live. It's always got live stuff on it. That didn't work out very well. Yeah. Cheers, Stu. Yeah, and the other day I was very fortunate when I was on there on Wednesday when I was on Twitch, because I suppose you guys must know the channel. I like to make stuff with Bob Claggett? Something like that. And he when he finished his live stream, I was streaming at the time, and he did this thing called a raid that you can do on Twitch, which sends all your viewers to another stream. And he just picked my stream out from the list of streams. I had about 2 viewers at the time, and he sent them all of his viewers to my stream. So I went from 2 viewers to about 100 in a matter of seconds, halfway through the stream. And then I got a ton of new followers, so that was really cool. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, Twitch, Steve, it's a website which does only live broadcasting. So they started off doing it for video games. So, you know, I don't know if you know, but watching live streams of people playing video games is hugely popular, especially on Twitch, or pretty much on Twitch is the main source of it. And you get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people watching people play games and stuff. But then it started moving into creative things. So you get like sculptors there, you get people doing paintings, people carving wood, all kinds of stuff, anything, you know. And a lot of people it's their job, a lot of people it's their hobby. So or people who are sort of halfway between, slowly making their hobby into their job and things like that. And it's great. You can chat to them live, you know, and you meet loads of interesting people, and it's really good. And there aren't like a ton of woodworkers on there. Most of it is, you know, if you leave the gaming aside, which is about 95% of Twitch, if you just think about the creative side, most of it I say would probably be people drawing on their computers, so doing graphic art on Photoshop and all that kind of stuff. And then after that you have people like painters and just general artists. Then you get people who are like sculpting things from clay, and you even get mechanics on there. They have like a thing up in there. Yeah, Woodworking Masterclass, yeah, he's quite a big channel on there. I think he's probably the biggest woodworking one, except for maybe I Like to Make Stuff is probably bigger. I'm not sure though, so I don't know how much of a following he has on there. I know he has a huge following on YouTube, but not as big on Twitch, I guess. But yeah, so woodworking wise, there's Carl Jacobson, who goes on there every Friday, I think. It might be is it every Friday or is it every Wednesday? I can't remember. But anyway, Carl Jacobson goes on there 1 day a week. He does, you know, a bit of turning, and he always finishes like a project off in one thing, one stream. Then there's Woodworking Masterclass, like Rob said. There's Bob from I Like to Make Stuff. There's a guy called Timber by Mark. He's a relatively new one. I think he's on there just about a month before me, maybe. There's not many woodworkers on there, but there are some. So I'm kind of jumping on that and trying to get some stuff done on there. In fact, the other day, I don't know if you guys saw my other video, my YouTube video with the key rack. I built one on Twitch the other day. But a different one. So I did this build entirely on Twitch, including milling the maple and everything. So it's just a simple dovetail one, the triple dovetail. So yeah, I did that entirely on Twitch, which was interesting. You know, I had a few people in there asking what it was about, and you know, getting loads of good questions and suggestions. You know, I was going to make 4 dovetails on there, but in the chat, you know, people were saying that 3 would probably look better, and I think they're right. So that's some spalted maple that came from a log from my friend's farm, and that's some of the sapedi that was getting thrown away. So yeah. Cheers, Rob. Oh, does he? Twitch and YouTube at the same time? Wow, that sounds complicated. I don't even know how that works. You must have to have two programs open at the same time. I don't even want to think about that. It sounds horrible. I don't know if my laptop could handle it. So, but that sounds like a good idea. You know, have 2 at the same time. But Twitch is really good for live. It's basically made for live stuff. So there's a lot more interactivity with it. You know, you get some interesting features on there. People can play games in your stream and stuff, and they can collect currency in your stream, like you know, loyalty currency. So like it's you know, it's not real currency, but you can spend it. You can get it so they can gather up points, and then once they get, I don't know, 500 points, then they can pay the 500 points in and get a ticket to win something in a giveaway or something. So it's all really good for that kind of stuff. And you get little animations come up on the screen when things happen, and you know, it's just more interactive than this, you know, because all you have in this, you have the chat, and then you have super chat, and then that's it as far as I know. Whereas Twitch, there's a multitude of things you can get on there. Oh, don't you, Jim? Would you like to stream if you did have the bandwidth, or? So no, it's not for everyone, obviously. You know, it's did I mark this one? I have marked this one. And of course you have to get used to dealing with people who mess with you. So, I've had, I mean, most people are really nice, you know, but I've streamed on Twitch now maybe about 10 times maybe, and in all that time I've probably been bugged by someone twice. So you compare that to all the other people that have come in and chatted for a long time, then it doesn't really amount to anything. But it's just something to think about if you, you know, you have to sort of have thick skin if you're going to do that kind of thing. But I guess generally doing YouTube videos, you've got to have pretty thick skin anyway. Because we all have those comments on our videos from people who are, you know, messing with us or telling us the design is awful or something like that. They must live pretty boring lives if that's what they enjoy doing. That's all I can say. Bit high there. Right. We'll just finish this one off, then we'll call it a day, I think. Better eat some dinner. Obviously, I suppose the problem with Twitch is that you don't have you don't really get a comment section as such. You just get the live chat. So people can re-watch your streams because they stay stored on there for a couple of weeks if you set that feature for them to do that. But as far as comments go, you know, you don't really get much. So it has to sort of all be in stream. I doubt it's very thick, Steve. It's cheap. So not very thick. I don't know if you see that. Yeah, very cheap. And I haven't sharpened this for quite a while, so and I didn't bother sharpening it prior to this because I, you know, just in case I did hit a nail, you know, which I've done before, unfortunately. Yeah, Rob. I do love dinner time. Thanks, Erica. Yeah. I don't know how many of you know. I don't think I ever put a picture of this online, but this was a solid door, but I just wasn't getting enough light for the YouTube videos, and just generally enough light from that window. Although it is a big window, just the position in the garden where the shed is, just don't get much light. So I got this old double glazed unit and put it in the door. It's nothing amazing, but it gives me a hell of a lot more light. So and I try to, whenever I can, just use natural light in YouTube videos because it's just so much nicer than fluorescence, which I do have up there. But I do sometimes have to use them if I just want to get a project done, because, you know, I can't just wait around for the sun to come back up before I finish a project sometimes. So yeah, just have to get more light and do as much as I can in the daytime when I do it. Right. Still got a bit of a way to go there. I think I'll get the sides down first and take out the middle. I don't know how many of you watch Matt Eastley, but he has a really good video that he brought out recently, maybe about a month ago, on milling lumber by hand. And it sort of helped me understand things a lot more. So if any of you guys out there do like milling lumber and have difficulties with it, then I'd check that out. If I were you, Matt Eastley. It's pretty good. You sacrificed wall space for windows in your shop, not regretted it. Yeah. Is this something about, like, you know, it's nice and all to come out in a shed to work, but you've got to try and make it as welcoming as possible, I think, because when you're out here making stuff and if something's not going well, you should at least have a decent view or some decent lighting, or, you know, somewhere nice to sit down for a bit or something, or relax, because you know, you're going to get frustrated at some point. So it's yeah, it's nice to have a kind of relaxing atmosphere, I think. And I painted all the walls in here because they were just plasterboard, so I painted all the walls, I painted the ceiling, I painted the window frames there, and I just try and tidy up as much as possible just to make it more welcoming, so that you actually feel like going out into the shed, you know, because I think that's a big problem. Oh yeah, Jim, I hadn't thought of that. I bet you do. Yeah, the lights really mess with the camera. Oh right, Steve, is that in your house then? Your workshop? You got like a big steel shed, have you? Sounds a bit different. Well, for the UK at least. I mean, most of us will have wooden sheds, I would guess. Or is that your, like, you know, do you actually travel there to work? So I'm doing this like the way Matt Eastley does it, and taking down the sides to the mark first, and then I'm going to go down the middle afterwards. And since I switched to doing it that way, as he says in that video that I was talking about, this the stuff that I've been making has been a lot better, like the maple blanks that I did. I've got another one here, another maple blank there to do another key rack on. So and I did that the Matt Eastley way. So I say the Matt Eastley way, it's probably just the general way to do it, but yeah. Yeah, I noticed you haven't got any windows in yours, Rob. Is your workshop a garage, Rob? Because it's connected to your house, isn't it? I seem to remember you having a door there that goes straight to your house. Centre now. Bit of a bump there. Okay. Oh, one car garage, okay. Oh right, that's cool, Steve. The back of the garage, actually a farm building. All right. Oh yeah, well, okay, good call then on getting rid of the asbestos. Yeah. I'm just going to run a nice smoothing plane over this a little bit just to see what kind of look I can get from it. I think I want to spin it around. Nope, I don't, that's bad. Let's try this one. It's all these knots just making it hell. That's definitely the wrong way there. Let's go back in. I'm sure you won't be underwhelmed. You make some pretty cool stuff, Steve. Especially the 1,000 dovetails you did. Oh, I just can't get this to work. Let's take a shallow cut, see if it makes it better. Taking a shallow cut is a bit better, but it's certainly not. I think it's just the grain is not. When is it, Jim? By the 20th of February? What are you on now? I mean, I wouldn't worry about it too much because, you know, there's not much to be made from you know, money-wise between now and when you actually get your monetization. Unless, of course, you have a video that goes insanely popular before you hit 1,000 subscribers. Then, you know, that could be a bit horrible. If you get a video that gets like, you know, 500,000 views or something. 621, yeah. That's going to be difficult. So unless you make a video that's insanely popular and just goes crazy, which can happen. Just going to get that scraper, see if I can do anything with that. I don't know if you can see, but it's not looking particularly great. Not what I expected it to. I would like it to look better. You can see I've got to resharpen this scraper, isn't it? So it's really nice here. It's just this, because the grain's going the other way, I think, here. Yeah, so let me try it this way. See if we can, yeah, so the grain seems to be switching because of this knot. So this is going to require a lot of scraping. From the other way. Okay, so that's much better. Actually, it's almost like a finished surface. So if you ignore the enormous grooves that are in there, and then compare that to up here somewhere where we've got all this tear out. That's fine here, or okay here, but enormous amounts of tear out here, so obviously the grain just changes on that side. But I don't know if a low angle plane would help, but I haven't got one, so so I won't be using one. Oh, okay. What am I like at sharpening scrapers? Terrible. No, I need more practice. I haven't used them that often, so you know, most of the stuff I've made is sort of rustic-ish, or I've just been able to take to the plane. So I mean, I can feel the burrs on there, but it's probably maybe bent over too much or something, or just a bit blunt or something. I don't know, but I'll have to redo it. I've looked up videos before and done it, but you know, sometimes it doesn't work out, or because I haven't done it in ages, I've forgotten it. You know. Rob, you haven't got any money from YouTube. How come? Do you have adverts on your videos? You do, don't you? I think. $52k minutes in the last month. That's pretty good. Don't know what I've had in the past month. I don't think it's that much though. So I tell you what I'm getting a lot of recently. This bloody wood pricks stuff on my comments. Unbelievable. So many, the past sort of 2 or 3 days I've had about 4 comments I've had to delete from these people putting comments on my videos selling their, you know, bullcrap woodworking plans that have been stolen from other people. I noticed that doesn't get regulated on YouTube very well. Alright. So you don't you bother having adverts anymore, Rob? Or because you must be able to have them because you've got 2,000 something subscribers, haven't you? So you must be able to have adverts on your channel. You must have qualified for monetization ages ago, I'd have thought. I'm just going to put this light on, guys, because I realise my face looks like it's in the dark too much. Alright. Because I haven't had a ton of money, but all I know is that in my first month on YouTube I earned about 20 pence, and now on YouTube I get about £20 a month. So at the moment, but it has been increasing every month mostly. Sometimes it dips down, but mostly it's been increasing every month. So you know, as far as I can see, it's getting better, but I still don't think it's any it's not fair compensation for the amount of traffic that we bring to YouTube. I don't think it's fair compensation for all the work that goes into it, you know. But you know, what can you do? People have to watch the videos, that's how they make the money, so oh right. Okay. I'm sure you'd still get some revenue, but perhaps not tons, you know. I guess, I mean, I know there's a few people who don't bother with adverts at all, and just do things like sell plans and things like that, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's not easy, Jim. I mean, I try and promote quite a lot, and I haven't really got the growth that I was hoping for. So I was hoping to maybe be about sort of 3,000 plus by now, but I'm on 1,500. But it's so difficult. I put tons of my things on Instructables. I go on Reddit. I have a Facebook page. I go on Instagram, and it's just really hard unless you've got, you know, that kind of magical formula, and you sort of know exactly what you're doing. It's really hard to get the attention, especially since it's such a flooded marketplace. You know, there's just so many videos. You know, but I think there needs to be a rival video sharing site, because you know, it's not, you don't get fair compensation from YouTube, so they need some competition. So they might up it a bit, or say, you know, we can jump ship and move over. $5 in the whole of 2017, Rob. That can't be right. That can't be right, can it? Because your views on your videos must be per video maybe 200 views per video. Yeah, Jim, I know there's that's one thing I really hate about YouTube, how they promote that kind of stuff. You know, I find it quite annoying that stuff that's not, maybe not educational, but stuff that's just some guy doing a prank on someone is picked by YouTube to be put on their trending page and gets millions of views, just because they know that a load of people are gonna or let's say people, a load of sort of your 10 to 15-year-olds are going to click on it, and that's where they get most of their money from. So if you get most of your money from kids, then you're gonna put this trending stuff on the page that's for kids, and because that's going to make them the most money, so that's what they're going to do. So they don't really care about the creators at all. So I've pretty much gathered that from all the stuff that's been happening recently with the ad revenue going down, and then this new stuff with 1,000 subscribers. I just don't think it's all business. There's nothing to do with. They always talk about the creators and everything, but really, nah, they don't care about that. Did you, Steve? Oh, I haven't seen that one. You got 30k views. Blimey. My biggest one was 20,000, and it's the simplest one I've done. It was just, I've got it here, look. It was this. This is my most viewed video. A pallet wood box with dowels in it that's not particularly well made. And that's got 20,000 plus views. I have no idea why. Maybe because it's a simple project. But yeah, I think you might be right. I think it's almost like the mainstream projects are quite often the popular ones. So if you pick something that a lot of people are going to be able to have a go at, or a lot of people you know are going to search. So say if you make a garden planter or something, you know in spring a lot of people are going to search for that. So you know, or a bench, or like you said, Adirondack chair, you know, something like that. And but they say it's all about getting your tags right and your description, and your title have to match, and then you have to search on YouTube and find out what things are searched for, and then change your phrasing and all that stuff. It's difficult unless you figure out what you're doing, you know. It's very difficult, but I haven't figured it out yet, and I've been, when it gets to I think July this year I'll be doing it for 2 years. So yeah, yeah. There's lots of annoying channels. Like I say, what can you do? That makes the money, so they run a business. You can't do much about that, so you just have to live with it, I think. Your next one's 200. Yeah, yeah. Probably what you have to do is go back and look at that, and I'm going to probably do the same with my pallet wood box thing, and just see if you write something in the description that sort of is really searchable, or something like that. Maybe that's what it is. It could just be that. But I don't know. I still find it confusing. I watch all these videos and I try and follow the steps that they talk about with all the description and the tags and searching for tags and searching for the right words to put in there, and I've spent so many hours doing it, and then redesigning my thumbnails, and so difficult. I feel like the ones that I didn't try on are the ones that are actually doing better than the ones I've spent hours on, you know. But I don't know what else to say about it, really. It's confusing and annoying at the same time. Right. Oh, I've almost been 2 hours, so I think I better stop. Thanks for coming, guys. Like I say, next time I won't be doing that again. I'll have some other stuff prepared. I'll either be restoring some boards, or hopefully doing some joinery if I have enough time in the week to get some stuff done. So yeah, me too, Steve. Well, I don't know, sometimes it depends what kind of project it is, but yeah, editing takes hours. I also spend tons of time moving the camera around, trying to get angles and stuff. That also takes ages and makes builds a lot longer, just trying to think of where the camera should be. Yeah, so I'll be back next Sunday, probably at 3 again, and I'll make it an event again so you can see when it's going to come on, just in case I change the time or whatever. And yeah, hopefully I'll catch you next week or sometime in the week if you guys put some videos out. That's my pleasure, Rob. Thanks for coming on and chatting. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Steve. And everyone else who came to chat. Zeusy and Jonathan, Era. Yeah, thanks for coming on. It was a good laugh. And I'll see you again soon. See you later, guys.